Lakers. They could use some help, right? Should they pursue Conley or Gasol?
Conley, yes. Gasol, no. I don't think that with JaVale McGee, with this kid Zubac, I like him a lot, along with Tyson Chandler. I don't think you need a Gasol. Obviously, he's more skilled. He's better, but in the same time, he's getting up there in age. And I look at Gasol, who's 34 years of age, not the most athletic guy in the world. He can shoot shots from the perimeter. He's skilled. Please don't get me wrong, but I just don't think that's where their biggest need lies. You look at point guard. I'm looking at Mike Conley. He's not a star. He's not a superstar, but he's a really damn good player. He's consistent. He's professional. He can hit perimeter shots. He's improved. He only played 12 games last year. He hasn't missed a game really this year. He's been playing every game this year. He's averaging 20 and 6. He's shooting about 42% from the field. He's improved 3-point field goal percentage shooting as well this season compared to last season, a few games that he played. But he's a model of consistency. He's reliable. He knows how to run a show. He can defend. He's tough. He doesn't shrink beneath the pressure. And I know you can look at some of the guys that the Lakers have and say, why do you need them? I'm proposing get rid of those guys to bring in a Mike Conley because it doesn't compromise what you want to do in free agency. So if you can have him along with LeBron, you keep Kuzma and a Hart, for example, and you can still go out there in free agency. I would say you should target Conley if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, but not Gasol.
I'm a big Mike Conley and Marc Gasol fan.
Okay.
I think they're the kind of players that you can win championships with. However, under certain circumstances, here's the issue. Here's who should pursue Mike Conley. I'm going to say no to the Lakers on both.
Okay.
No to Gasol because the league has changed to the point where if you can't defend out in space and you're a $25 million player at the 5, that's difficult. And no to Conley because I believe in Magic Johnson and the Lakers and LeBron being able to attract other high-priced talent to L.A. Mike Conley's totally excellent, right? But if he's going to take up 25% of your cap space, he can only do so under certain circumstances. For example, you have an ascending team with great young talent. It's already kind of like a super team. You want to keep him on the roster because you can grandfather in his contract. It's not like you're taking him on and now he's stopping you from signing other free agents. You already have the team you want. You just need to pay him. Then you can pay Mike Conley. If you are a small market team or an undesirable market for many free agents who say, okay, we got this guy or this guy's under contract for another year after this year, or after next year, let's get him because we can have this good piece in place. You can make a deal for Mike Conley. Under those circumstances, yes. But if you're the Lakers and you have all this cap space and you're hoping to get at least one, but maybe 2 top-flight free agents, then maybe you don't want to pay Conley because that stops you from getting something else. I'll tell you who should go after Mike Conley.
By the way, he's at $32.5 million and $34 million over the next 2
seasons.
That's
a third of your cap space, basically. So I'll tell you who should go after Mike Conley, in my opinion. I'll give you one team from the East, one team from the West.
Okay.
A team like Portland in the West. Why Portland? Is he an upgrade over Lillard? No, although he's a far better defender. But Stephen A. has brought up what kind of tradable assets does Portland have to get out of this kind of like second-round purgatory type team that they are? Well, if you could replace Lillard with Conley, and now you could free up Lillard as a tradable asset, now all of a sudden Portland could take a jump because they'd have Conley and McCollum, and then they could get someone else for Lillard or a lot of value for Lillard. A team like that. In the East, a team like Milwaukee. If you could turn the job that Bledsoe does, if Conley could do that job, and also he can't go anywhere next year, or the year after, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, you got to watch out for Milwaukee. Teams that are on the brink who would otherwise have a hard time getting free agents, trade for Mike Conley. Otherwise, and I don't think that's L.A. I don't think L.A. is right on the brink of a championship as currently constituted, and I also think that Magic Johnson will be able to get a player even better than Mike Conley in free agency?
Well, it's a couple of things. Number one, I don't disagree about Milwaukee. I like that suggestion. No question about it, because I like Conley with the Greek Freak and Middleton and those boys that they have in Milwaukee, particularly being coached by a guy like Budenholzer who could utilize him effectively. So there's no denying that. What I would say, however, is that when I'm thinking about trade, if you talk to me about getting Conley at those numbers, for example, let's say if he was a free agent and he was looking for X amount of dollars, and you were talking about it along those lines, I would definitely dismiss that. I wouldn't want that. But if you're talking about trading somebody, that means you rid yourself of certain assets to acquire it in return. So I'm not looking at the cap effect from that perspective. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not looking at it.
But you have to, Stephen A., because those contracts you're getting rid of are like Contavious Caldwell-Pope. That's expiring. That won't be on your books. Conley will be on your books.
I do understand that. But what I'm saying to you is that ultimately you're going to have to get players and you're going to have to spend that money anyway, whether it's on a multitude of assets or the exact trades that you do. All I'm trying to say is that when I'm looking at a championship squad that's being formulated, you know what? They might not be the ones to deliver you a championship, evidenced by what lack of success they've had in Memphis, even though they've been to a couple of conference finals. What I'm saying is they don't cost you a conference championship. I think Conley helps you along that line. Now, we get to Magic Johnson and what he's going to do in free agency. That happens to be my biggest worry. Whether it's Kawhi, whether it's Kevin Durant, whether it's Klay Thompson,
empty-handed
whether it's Kyrie, whether it's Kemba Walker, it is plausible that Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka, of all people, can end up empty-handed.
If that's the case,
and I'm worried
then
about
Conley
that.
makes sense. I'll give you one more team, and this is more kind of out there because Kyle Lowry's played very well on offense. I think, and there wouldn't. I don't know if there'd be enough time to get it together. If you could just presto change Kyle Lowry into Mike Conley and keep the kind of integrity of the team together going forward, I think Toronto could win it all this year.